Hey DIYers, Jarrett with Alarm Grid here. Today we're going to talk about how you would activate the panic mode on the Honeywell Lyric system. If you ever wanted to activate the panic mode in the Honeywell Lyric, what you'll do is just tap, you're going to press and hold actually the little circle button with the exclamation point at the bottom left of your Honeywell Lyric screen, and this is going to pull up the panic options that you have set up. Now the panic options, you can have it set to either a fire panic, a police panic, medical, or even set off a local alarm. Now these zones or these panic options are actually assigned to specific zones which are within the programming of the alarm system, and they're assigned to zones 995 through 999. And you can even change these zones anytime you want to. If if you needed to switch anything around, you just go into the zone programming, and you're gonna have to go to the very bottom where you'll see zones 995 through 999, but you'll be able to change those up however you want them to, wherever you want them to be. Now, when you're setting up these zones, if you were to change the response type to none or not used, then that specific zone or that panic option is not going to show up in the panic menu. So when you're pressing and holding this button, as you see the panic options come up, if you have any of them set as not used for the response type, they're not going to show up. You're only going to see the ones that are set to be able to work whenever you do press that panic option or that panic button. Now, if you ever wanted to, or actually there are different ways to be able to set off a panic for the Honeywell Lyric. Instead of going here locally in the system, you can set up key fobs with the system as well. Normally, a lot of our customers do set that up too if you wanted to. You can use either the Honeywell 5834-4 key fob or the Honeywell 6 fob. And you can set up any of the buttons on the key fobs to set off a panic. But normally the panic option or the panic button is set up for the star button that you'll see on that key fob. And normally when you press and hold that, you can trigger the panic or the panic on the Honeywell Lyric. So there is another option for a panic button if you wanted to set that up. It is a fixed panic button. These are the ones where you would normally set up in like banks or convenience stores, where you would have them hiding underneath the desk in case there was a robbery or anything like that. Now that panic button is called the Honeywell 5869. This is just a fixed panic button that stays in one location, and if you ever needed, or if there was ever a situation you needed to press that panic button, just press it immediately and it'll trigger the alarm on the alarm system. You can have police dispatching. Now just keep in mind, very important, that if you ever are trying to set up or trigger, not set up, but if you ever try to ever trigger one of these panic buttons or the panic option in the Lyric, you cannot do it while the system is inside of system programming. You have to make sure that the system is at the main menu as it is right now, so that it can trigger the panics. So if you wanted to activate the panic mode on the Honeywell Lyric system, you're just going to follow these simple steps. So step one is to look for the panic button. It's going to be the circle with the exclamation point on the inside, and it's going to be on the bottom left of the Lyric screen. So you're just going to tap and hold that for a couple seconds, and it's going to bring up the panic buttons. So step two would be choosing the panic button that you would need in the situation. As you can see right now, we have fire, police, and local alarm setup. And also another thing to keep in mind, that if you're not touching anything in the panic option or the panic menu, then it is going to take you back to the main screen. But that's the second step, is to choose the panic option or the panic button, the panic mode that you're going to need at the time. So now just keep in mind that when you are pressing any of these panic modes, it is going to send the signal over to the central station, but you will need to have active monitoring in order for the police to be dispatched immediately. So just as a side note about the local alarm panic mode option, that's basically just to trigger an audible siren on the Honeywell Lyric system. It's not meant to send any alarm signals over to the central station. This is basically just for you to trigger the alarm. So let's say an intruder were to break in, and you wanted to either try to scare the intruder away, or you wanted to notify anybody locally there at the premise that there's something going on. So if that were the case, then you would trigger, or you would go to the system, tap on the local alarm button, and you'll immediately trigger that alarm, and the siren is going to go off. It will be loud, so just keep that in mind. But at least you do have that option if you didn't want to send any signals to the central station at the current time. Now, for these panic modes, you can have them set up in different ways, whether it be a 24-hour silent panic, where when you tap it, it's not going to trigger the alarm or trigger the siren. And then there's the 24-hour auxiliary, my bad, and that is going to trigger the siren on the alarm system. So another thing that I want to point out is early in the video I mentioned that if you don't have any of the zones set up as not used, or if you have any zones that are set up as not used, they're not going to show up in the panic mode option or the panic mode menu. So as you see, we have fire, police, and local alarm, but there's no medical. That's because we have the medical zone set as not used. So it's not going to show up within that the panic menu. But if that was set up, then you will be able to see that. So now, for instance, let's say you need police dispatch. So you're going to press and hold the button, and you're going to tap on police. It's going to take you back to the main menu, and it's going to act as if nothing is happening with the alarm system. A normal thief would probably not realize that anything is happening, but right now, as you can see on the top, it says not ready to arm. This is actually sending out the alarm signal currently. Right now, we don't have it set up to send out the alarm signal, but if you were to ever tap that, it's going to send the signals immediately to the central station, and they'll be able to act accordingly and dispatch the police accordingly. Now, step 3 is disarming the system. So once everything is taken care of and you no longer need that panic mode going off anymore, you're just going to press security, and you're going to disarm the system. You're going to type in the master code, and you have just now disabled the panic mode on the Honeywell Lyric system. And that is how you would activate the panic mode on the Honeywell Lyric alarm system. If you have any further questions about the Honeywell Lyric or alarm systems in general, please contact us at support@alarmgrid.com or go to our website, alarmgrid.com. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you want notifications of future videos, please click the bell icon. This is Jarrett with Alarm Grid. Give yourself a great day.